Thank you. I'm so excited. I just received my first premium cast iron pan. My media feed's been popping up with all these fancy brands for a while now, and I got really curious. So I reached out to a company in New Zealand called Ironclad, and they sent me their flagship product. It's called the Legacy Pan, and we will put it to a proper test. Is it non-stick right out of the box? At the end, I will reveal the price and whether I think if it's worth your money or not. Is it expensive cast iron really better? Or is it just hype? Let's find out! Hi, I'm PapaMau. I'm here to inspire people to use healthier and long-lasting cookware as a way to care for their loved ones and for the environment. In my channel, I show how easy it is to cook with carbon steel, cast iron and stainless steel cookware. I share my own experience as an everyday dad cook and as an outdoor weekend warrior. Welcome. Before we dive in, a quick word about Ironclad. They make small production, high quality cast iron cookware in New Zealand. And full disclosure, I actually reached out to them and they kindly sent me one of their most popular pans to try. Thanks guys! But this video isn't sponsored in any other way. They just sent me the pan, no strings attached. And trust me, if something sticks or burns, you will see it. Alright, let's dive in. First impressions, pretty awesome. No plastic inside, which I love. The pan comes wrapped in a thick black cotton bag. Looks great, and I think it's gonna be really useful for storing it and protecting it from scratches or dents. Once you open the box, you will find a lot of reading material inside. Warranty info, care instructions, and some recipes for inspiration. I spotted a brownie that's killing me, so yeah, that's happening. The pan feels super refined. The bottom is refinished, so it feels smooth. And the factory seasoning is deep black, dark and spotless. And I also love the branding on the back. A big bold stamp that gives it real character. In terms of weight, it feels balanced and solid, but not crazy heavy. Well, for cast iron anyway. Let's just say, if you are using this often, you may as well drop the gym. Alright, the time has come. Let's see if this fancy pan is non-stick right out of the box. First, I'm preheating the pan, as I always do. Then, testing it with a few drops of water. See how they instantly evaporate? That means we are ready. I'm adding just enough fat to coat the surface. In this case, just a little bit of butter. Not much, as you can see. And in goes the egg, straight from the fridge. I dropped the heat too low. Here's the trick. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. And look at that. It's already starting to release around the edges. Give it a few more seconds. You like it runny or well done? Up to you. And boom! Sliding egg. No sticking, no tearing. I call that a complete success. This pan is non-stick right out of the box. I can't believe there are still people using Teflon pans. Oh my god. For the second test, a sticky classic, bacon. Let's see how much it sticks and how much of a pain it is to clean up after. I'm using the leftover butter from the egg test and adding a splash of water to the pan with the bacon. I find it really helps the fat render slowly and makes for an extra crispy finish. Like, seriously guys, this is like Teflon level of non-stickness. Now, one thing I noticed is that the handle is quite hot. Oh shit. Right, that's it. What do you think? Can you hear it? And our pan doesn't look too bad, does it? Not at all. So, how do we clean it now? A quick scrub with hot water and a brush was enough to get it clean. And if you wanted to get rid of that leftover bacon grease properly without damaging the seasoning, I like to use my own natural soap. It's made from saponified organic oils and is designed specifically for cast iron and carbon steel cookware. It breaks down grease beautifully but keeps your seasoning intact. You can check it out right here on my channel if you want to give it a go. We'll get serious now. A challenge of life or death. I'm gonna put vinegar in the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna let it sit there for 30 minutes and I'm gonna strip all the factory seasoning. Why, you may be wondering? Well, two reasons actually. One, as removing the seasoning is like getting to know someone's real identity. I find that my best pans are completely non-stick regardless of the state of their seasoning. I give them zero care and they always deliver. The other reason is to simulate what happens after a long cook with acidic food. Don't hate me for this. It's gonna be alright. Bye bye factory seasoning. 30 minutes starting now. Okay, half an hour has passed and that pan is full of bubbles. All right, time to cook another egg. Same as before. Enough. Let's go. Half an hour with vinegar and see what happens. That bubbling thing is lifting. Right? Look at that. Yeah? Like seriously. You want a sliding egg? Sliding egg. There you go. This thing works. So, yeah, I would say, look, you can cook your grandma's tomato sauce recipe here. Do a slow cook of tomato paste, tomato sauce for 3-4 hours, and it's gonna be perfectly fine. You can cook breakfast just after that, right? It's perfect. So, yeah, all good. Really impressed, very happy with this. If you're enjoying the content of my video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you really want to be a rock star, feel free to get any of my products. Right, for the seasoning, super easy. I like to do what I call the cold and dry method. Cold, because we start with a cold pan, no need to heat it. And dry, because we remove all of the excess oil. So you will need 2 rags, ideally different color, and my seasoning paste or any oil. Once it stops smoking, that's it. Seasoning is done. Follow the link to the video with full details on this process. All right, now that we just finished seasoning, our pan is really hot. So this is the perfect time to do some heat retention tests. For this test, I'm comparing the Ironclad pan with one of my personal favorites, an old unbranded cast iron pan from Argentina. Both pans are roughly the same size and weight, though my Argentinian one has wooden handle, so it's a little bit lighter overall. I heated them both up to 200 degrees Celsius and then tracked how well they held temperature over time, checking at 1 minute, 3 minutes and 5 minutes. The old pan retained about 4% more heat than the Ironclad, but that's well within the margin of error for this kind of test, I guess. Bottom line, both pans showed excellent heat retention, finishing at around 130 degrees Celsius after 5 minutes of heat. That's solid performance. The thing is still really hot. Something to notice is that the handle is still searing hot after like 7 minutes, right? So be careful with those handles. Okay, now for some actual cooking tests. I started with deep frying some amazing Milanesas. That's Argentina's favorite dish, And I've actually got a full video on those, by the way. The pan performed as expected. It may be slightly on the shallow side for deep frying. I did notice a bit of bubbling over and some oily drips here and there, but nothing major. Hey, we still had an amazing lunch. Then for dinner, I took on a real challenge: frozen dumplings. Yeah, the results are not great. I used the same technique as I always use with my carbon steel pan, but these little guys stuck big time. The plating, well, let's say it was a little bit rustic at best. Now, for the washing, it wasn't a big deal. I love soaking my pans while I eat, and then when it's time to do the dishes, I gently scrub with a brush. 9 times out of 10, they are back to new without effort. The next day started on a sweet note. I was committed to trying my own version of the mouth-watering brownie that came with the booklet. I threw in some extra nuts, coated the pan generously with butter to prevent sticking, crossed my fingers, and into the oven it went. The result? Well, I'll let the visuals speak for themselves. I'll just say this: my kids completely destroyed, and my wife was part of that too.
Wow, showtime! Look at this! Nice!
But my final test was something special, a recipe that's been in my family for generations. It's a traditional style shepherd pie from my hometown, Mendoza, in Argentina, the land of the Malbec. What makes it different? We add pastry at the bottom and on top. Golden, crunchy, and absolutely delicious. It's the perfect dish for cast iron, traditionally cooked in a wood-fired oven, but this time I used my trusty Kamado grill. Extra points to Ironclad for making a pan that actually fits in there. That's a win already. The results? Fantastic. The pan cooked the pie evenly, the dough browned beautifully, and the crust was spot on. Best of all, the bottom didn't stick at all. That's a solid 10 out of 10 from me. I'm honestly very happy with this pan. I think it did everything well. It responded beautifully to non-stick cooking technique. It got as close as Teflon as cast iron can possibly get, in my opinion. And in the oven and the grill, flawless, really. In terms of design, look, it looks really nice. It's definitely a lot smoother than cheap and unbranded cast iron. I find that this guy has maintained that dark, deep black color very well. And the price, this guy sells for 279 Aussie dollars plus shipping, all right? And as a reference, a 12-inch large skillet retails today in Amazon for 105 Aussie dollars delivered. Same day if you are Prime. So, big difference. It's almost 3 times when you add shipping. Is it worth your money? Well, that's a really hard question, and this is my honest view. If you are a beginner and you haven't cooked with cast iron, my advice would be go buy online something unbranded and cheap. The cheapest cast iron you can find. They will all cook very similar. Once you try it, and if you find that you like cast iron, well, you are ready to jump into something fancier. These guys will stay with you and your family for many decades. So, in the long run, nobody will remember how much did you pay for this. And it's a really nice piece of cookware that you will be proud to hand over to your kids. And what do you think? Would you buy a premium cast iron skillet? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested in this one, I'll leave you a link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, and I see you in the next one.